This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, Apple, Coconut Fruit Punch, and Lemon Lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. HiQ Energy Drink. Wings are for birds.
And now back to live coverage right here on the Community Radio Network, the home of your Clayton Comets.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you thought the women's varsity game was a wild one, this one is just going to be a barn burner, down to the wire. Community Radio Network is back here live with you from Jeff Adams Gymnasium. For executive producer Trey Snide, for our other employees including Brandon White, Daniel Moore, Wesley Outland back here with you. We have got a fantastic game coming up. Just like for the varsity women where the Comets prevailed, Daniel Manzer will get player introductions. Daniel Moore, this game is also for the number 1 spot of the Greater News 3A too.
Right, and same thing we were saying with the Lady Comets. You want to come in and get this win, get number 1 seed, get that number 1 spot, and again, just try to hold it down as long as you can if they can secure it tonight.
Welcome to the new HiQ Energy Drink pregame tip-off. We are 7 minutes to game time to this game between the 13-2 Clayton Comets, 2-0 in the conference of the Greater News 3A, taking on the 9-5 East Wake Warriors, 2-0 in the conference. And a same scenario, Daniel Moore, as we had for the women's varsity game that Clayton prevailed, 43-38. These two teams are still exactly identical to what they were last year. Same players back. This should be a great matchup.
Yeah, and not only with the same players back, but they're also, again, almost going to be a mirror image of each other here tonight. I'm expecting a lot of three-pointers and, some of the more flashier plays here tonight in this game here, but it definitely should be a good one either way it goes.
This is the new HiQ Energy Drink pregame tip-off. We are getting set for this matchup. It should be a good one between the Denny Medlin and the Clayton Comet varsity men. 13-2. Most recent win was a great game over the Cleveland Rams conference game on Tuesday night. We had it on CRN. And of course, tonight, taking on the East Wake Warriors basketball team. 9-5, 2-0. They are the champions of last year's Greater News 3A conference again, and under the direction of Coach Kenneth Melton. A great program for sure, ready to go in this matchup for the nightcap.
Yeah, and again, we're looking forward to, as you've said, a barn burner here. I'm ready to get it started and see what these two teams bring to the court.
Should be a great game, of course, for their 13-2 in the regular season, 2-0 in the conference for Coach Marlon Denny Medlin. For the Warriors, they're 9-5 at 2-0 in the conference. And what's your the field goals, rebounds, percentages, things like that before we get ready for another timeout and prepare for Daniel's keys to the game?
So again, another evenly matched up team. Field goal percentage 44 for the Warriors, 43 for the Comets. Rebounds per game 31, 30 for the Comets. Points per game 64. We'll say 65 for both teams. and then 30, like I said, about 30% on the three-point percentage. So, I mean, they like to take a lot of threes. They're both relatively close on the amount of threes that they've taken, and also on the relatively close on the amount that they've made. So
let's be honest here. If you look at what we had in the varsity women's game between the Warriors and Comets, this is pretty much the same way.
Yeah, I think this game is possibly going to come down to the wire again. I think a lot of it's going to depend on who's streaky tonight, who's shooting good, and whose rhythm's right, and then ultimately who's off tonight, and that may be the determining factor of who wins and who loses.
Which should be a good matchup. They've got about another 4 minutes until player introductions. Opening ceremonies will probably include the national anthem as well. And for this game, we saw a great game between Tony Dupree and the Warriors and her program against Marlon Lee and the Lady Comets, and it just came down to who's going to be there at the end. And bottom line, it was survival of the fittest. And I have to say, and we even talked about it, that incident that happened, not even an incident, that manipulation that capitalized for Clayton at the beginning of the fourth period. East Wake wasn't ready. Clayton was. Ref put the ball down. Fair game. They took it and went with it. Yeah,
and I mean, ultimately, without that basket, I think that actually put them in the lead with that basket. So, I mean, ultimately, without that quick thinking by Marlon Lee and heads-up coaching by Marlon Lee, without that, it's very possible that East Wake could have come away with that win versus in the ladies' game.
That's what I was wondering, if that made the entire complexion of the game change. Because, by the way, I know we're doing pregame for the women's game, or the varsity men's game, but finally thoughts of post for the women's game. When that happened, the whole shift of momentum for the offense of East Wake changed.
Yeah, it's like it took the wind out of the sails of the Lady Warriors, and I mean, sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes you just get one good play gets the momentum going in your way, and sometimes the momentum can give you a little bit more better rhythm too. So
less than 2 minutes away from getting things underway. Player introductions, national anthem, all of that will be going on, and we'll get this game started here between the 13-2 Clayton Comets, 2-0 in the conference, against the 9-5 East Wake Warriors, 9-5, 2-0 in the conference. Bottom line, when this game concludes, Daniel Moore, somebody's going to be 3-0, somebody's going to be 2-1, and somebody's going to be number one in the Greater News 3A.
Right, and I mean, of course, Clayton is the city of Clayton, or Clayton High School, I guess, is hoping that Clayton High School is going to get away with this win tonight and become the number one seed in both the men and the women's division here, but we'll just have to see what they bring.
And by the way, don't forget, tomorrow the Clayton Comets varsity men are on the road for the high school OT Garner Showcase. They will play at 5:30 against Inlow High School. We will have CRN pregame, the new High Q Energy Green Drink pregame tip-off at 5:15. Pregame at 5:15. Tip-off at 5:30. Yours truly, Wesley Outland, and Brandon White will be on the call for this. So we are getting ready for player introductions here in just a couple of moments. We are set for the nightcap, the one that we've all been waiting for. And from what I've seen on my stat sheets preparing for these games, and we're seeing them in person, East Wake players are pretty big.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I'm not sure of his name. He's got his warm-up shirt on now, but definitely a big guy. And
talking about Zach Sloan, probably.
I believe so.
Or Jackson Platts. He's 6'8".
I can't remember his name, but yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a big determining factor, or very well could be a determining factor here in this game.
We're ready for player introductions. Let's go now. The public address announcer of the Clayton Comets, Daniel Manzer, for starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for this men's varsity basketball action between the East Wake Warriors and your Clayton Comets. And now the starting lineup for the East Wake Warriors under the direction of head coach Kenneth Melton. At guard, sophomore 6'2", number 1, R.J. Vick. At guard, junior 5'8", number 2, Isaiah Holman. At power forward, junior 6'5", number 11, Javon Mercer. At small forward, sophomore, 6'1", number 23, Curtis Ellaby Jr. And at point guard, junior, 5'10", number 24, Jeremiah Crudup. And now, it's time for your Comets starting lineup. Under the direction of head coach Denny Medlin. At point guard, senior, 5'10", number 1, Mason Roosh. At guard, junior, number 3, Javante Long. At forward, senior, 6'2", number 10, Shakir Howard. At forward, senior, 6'3", number 20, Elijah Sanders. And senior, number 23, B.J.
Thank you very much, Daniel Manzer. Player introductions wrapped up. This has been the new High-Q Energy Drink pregame tip-off. The game of Warriors and Comets is next.
Coming soon, the new wave of hydration and energy drink HIQ. This new product is all natural with no caffeine and gives you a major boost of hydration
And now back to live coverage right here on the Community Radio Network, the home of your Clayton Comets.
Welcome back. We are set to go. This matchup between the Comets and the Warriors. Tell of the tape on the road. The Warriors, they're the away squad, East Wake. They're wearing blue on yellow, yellow numbers and yellow stripes to match. The home squad, Clayton Comets here. They're wearing white on black and blue with blue numbers for their jerseys. Tip is up. East Wake gets it. We're underway here on CRN. Crudup with the ball at midcourt, ready for this matchup for the men. Battle for the number 1 spot of the Greater News 3A. It's here. It's now. It's tonight, Daniel Moore. Holman to Crudup. Back to it again. Back to Crudup. Back to Holman again. On defense's rush. Sets it up down to 11 to Mercer. Mercer's now in the mix. Hands it off now to 24. Crudup again. Back down to Mercer. Now backs inside to Vic. Vic will now set it up to 23 of Elby. And now all 5 players have somehow or another got a hold of the ball. Attempt made for a basket. No good. And here comes the Comets on their first licks of offense. Turns it over by Rush. Gives it right back to East Wake. Up court comes Holman. Holman powering his way to the basket. Whistle and a foul.
Good hustle there. Way to start the game off if you're East Wake, getting that foul and seeing if you can get the 2 points on the board here.
Foul on Shakir Howard, 6'2" senior. This is going to bring number 2 sophomore, or number 2 junior, 5'8" guard Isaiah Holman to the line. He'll shoot 2 and he misses his first.
And that's not the way you wanted to start. You get the foul, but you really want to get those 2 points, obviously. But
it has got loud inside Jeff Adams Gymnasium. Totally a different atmosphere from the women's game to the men's. First baskets, points to the game. Number 2, he'll get it kicked off. It's 1-0. East Wake out in front of Clayton.
And we'll see if Clayton can respond here.
Javante Long. He's got the rock. He sets it up to Shakir Howard. Howard's 1 foul, first in the game. Sets it up now to Sanders. Now back to Long. Long sets it up to Big 3, Freeman. Freeman will go for a fader and a jumper, and it's good. 2-1. Freeman for 2. And they're up by 1 now, Comets are.
And East Wake, better watch him there. Number 23, Freeman. He's a big player for him.
See how he goes now. 2-1. With the ball is Vic. Vic goes back inside to Mercer. About to turn it over. Now 1-1 show continues between Vic and Mercer and Rush. Fader up over the rim. No good for East Wake. Turns it over. Will it go back to Clayton? No, it will not. Coming back is number 1 to finish what he started, R.J. Vic, and he'll put it in for 2. That was pretty good defense and offense on the Warriors' part.
Yes, definitely. They're ready to play as well.
Playing strong. Long back to number 10, Howard. Turns it over. No good. Give it back to East Wake. Carrying it on his own. Basket is good. Holman. 3 points now for Isaiah Holman, the 5'8" junior guard for the East Wake Warriors. It's now